God, I can never pronounce it. Yoju. This font right here. I'm just gonna call it Nanum. I'm using Nanum as my header fonts, and I'm using Archivo as my body font. Oh no, I think it looks decent together. Not 100% sure on this font yet. Half of me wants to do that now, italicize it. Decide on that as we go along. You always follow the same formula for making your docs. I try to. Generally speaking, I just find it a lot easier because usually how I like to organize things is I like to make usually a preface. Actually, what I do is I do the title card, obviously. Then I do preface, mostly as a why this exists. And then it's playing the game. So I like to I like to introduce people to like what you're actually going to be doing, because if you introduce people early on what the actual like game is, people have a better understanding of how to make characters, of kind of like what's good and what's not going to be really good. Because you can kind of look at it and be like, oh, well, obviously, this game, which is using D6s automatically, so I don't need to worry about having like a bunch of D10s or something. No, it's going to be like a D6 game. Then from there, I usually do like characters are usually my first priority. How do you make a character? Because for me anyway, and I learned this from Palladium books, is making a character is by far the best way to introduce people to the game. If you can know how to make your character, you're going to be able to learn everything you need to. You're going to be able to say, see, okay, this is what my character is capable of. You're going to be able to see, this is what we need to do here. This is what we need to do here. Usually followed by like exterior mechanics here. Sometimes I call it the primary mechanic. Like if there's a gimmick that we're going to need to do, it's going to be here. This is going to be the primary mechanic, then exterior mechanics. This is usually how I like to do the format. It keeps things simple. That's literally the only reason. So actually, let's see. So we want to do playing the game. I'm going to give this probably a funnier name for later, but right now I just want to get things on paper. So, exterior mechanics. The best way to explain an exterior mechanic is everything related to your core mechanic. So, I consider things like combat is an exterior mechanic. You're building off of your core. If your core is 1d6 plus modifiers, your combat's going to have to be built off of that. Because all those options and all those things aren't technically a core mechanic. Your core actual mechanics are things that you're going to be doing for everything, and everything is built off of those core mechanics. So let's see. Entering the new with a blade in one hand, a gun in the other. Let's see. By Bladen crosses the game of entering the new world with a blade in one hand, a gun in the other, and your massive golem companion. Golem side. To play by blading cross. Let's see, how do I want to word this? It's been a while since I've actually written one of these. I've been writing skirmish games for a while now, and skirmish games usually have a very different approach to this, so I just want to make sure that I'm writing this correctly, make sure I kind of fit the same feeling with it, because sometimes I have a bad tendency of not doing. Let's see, actually. So, and a massive goal. Sign. My blade and cross requires a number of d6s per player. Let's see, per player. Often around 5 to 7. 7 is good. 5 to 7 is good. 3 actually no. 3 to 5 captains of Barcengozan. Let's see, 3 to 5 captains of Barcengozan. I'm gonna give the game master to play a game master to referee and run the world, and a fierce desire to spread the good word and get rich in the process. I haven't come up with a good name yet. Again, I'll write some like lore stuff after. Here's the thing. I don't like writing lore that much. I find it kind of dull. Like I'm one of the very few people who's just like, yeah, I don't like much writing lore because it's kind of dull to me. It's like I'm not really doing like the actual like nitty-gritty mechanical detail that I like. So let's see. Blade and cross requires a number of d6 per player. Referee your scenario about the good wording. Written says when a captain chooses to perform an action, they will need to take up a number of d6s equal to the attribute that is being tested. They will then roll the attribute. They'll then roll the dice. And count successes. A 0 to 1. 0 to 1 is no successes. 2 to 3. 1. Actually, 0 to 1 is worth no successes. 2 to 4 to 5. What am I doing? 1 to 2 is worth no successes. 3 to 4. Like wait a second. And then 5 to 5 to 6. 5 to 6 is 5 to 6 are worth 2 successes. They will need to a target number set by the game to determine difficulty. So it has a target number, which is again nice and simple. We like target numbers. Target number TN set by the game master. TN is reflected of the difficulty. The difficulty that the captains are facing. We paste that right here, and then we have a nice little chart. We insert a chart, insert a table. It's going to be, we can just do it by 2 by 2. So let's see, that table properties, we want to do column width. Let's do like 2. Can I do 1? Yeah, 1. Diff T table properties, can we do 0.2? 4? 4 is a little excessive, but so difficulty 1 to Now comes for the fun part where I get to try to come up with things. So these are the number of successes needed. So the number of successes needed. So difficulty, which is going to be beyond, yeah, this is going to be simple, easy. Call this at complex, difficult, devilish. And it's very difficult. Hard would be something more complex. Actually, no. And we'll do so simple, easy, average. Would be something beyond average, in the middle of average and complex. Actually, we can do challenging. So let's say, for example, you're going to have 4 dice. Even with 4 dice, you can technically succeed up to very difficult. So I'm going to roll my dice here real fast. I scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I scored 6 successes. I did pretty good here. Again, I want people to feel like they're succeeding. Like, if you have a, like, target number 1 is, like, you are very much at risk of something. Something is going very wrong if you're kind of like, we need to check your target number 1. So we'll do when a captain is opposed by another character. When a captain is opposed by another character, so we actually want to make this a little bit odd here. So when a captain is opposed by another character, they will only the captain will only the captain. Actually, oh yeah, only the captain will. Only the captains will roll the dice. Roll the dice, as they are the leaders, as they are the leading forces. Forces of the story. With most other characters succeeding or failing by their actions. If two captains are opposed to one another, they will make a roll. They will make a roll off to determine who. They will make a roll off, and with whoever scores the most successes. Successes emerging. Not a very complex system, but the big note is right here. Only the captains will roll the dice. So pretty much what I want to occur is that, captains roll dice. Captains roll dice. Everyone else has a static event. Mostly so I can make characters pretty easily. Most characters are going to have a static value. Most standard enemies are going to be very simple, very easy to understand, because that's easy, that's simple. We don't have to think about them too hard. Still aping Lumen a little. So we've got the basics of the game. So what we're going to do, what we need to do actually, is, with blade in hand, combat operates. Combat. Excellent. While piloting the golem. While piloting their golem. The captains are at a different. The captains rolls change. They will still they'll still roll a number of dice equal to the actions they wish to partake in. However, they will keep all of the dice they have. A captain may perform as many actions as they wish during a combat round. Captain may perform as many actions as they wish during a combat round, as long as they can pay for the action with dice. And what we can do is we'll put an example at the bottom here, being like, this is kind of how this works. Like, this will only occur when you are in the golem. If you're not in the golem, you're going to be using this system. You're going to be saying, well, all right, oh no, I need to make a check real fast. Like, I'm lying to my superior. I'm going to lie to the magistrate to make sure that he understands what we're going to be doing. So I roll my dice. I scored 6 successes. I'm doing pretty good. I've pretty much thwarted him. Like, he believes me. But if I'm an honest man, well, that's gonna be a lot harder to lie to people. Yeah, I'll put a thing right here. Okay. So what we need to do, hiring the best captain creation. Captains are military personnel, military and adventurous souls drawn to the new world, promises of riches, glory, and a divine drive to spread the faith. The wars back home also make it an enticing opportunity to escape a bloody brothers war. No more brothers war. Sure, I'm actually writing that's correct. Brothers war. Austro-Hungarian or brothers, the Battle of Gaza. Brothers war. Escape a bloody brothers war. Let's see, the captains. The captains are unique soldiers that accompany them, as they are the only ones able to pilot golems through training or natural talent. Golems are massive entities of war, and are massive entities made of materials and given life, given movement, and given animated by the grace of God and other entities, massive entities and other beings, materials, and animated by the grace of God. They are activated by marking sigils along the constructed frame. constructed frame, and once activated, the massive the engines, will spring forth. Traditional golems are only found on the at home and among kings, among the other king's armies. Though they have been found. Traditional golems are too heavy to be brought aboard. Brought to the new world, leading to a new class of smaller traditional golems, which usually stand about 10 meters. Let's see, yeah, maybe about 10 meters. Are too heavy to be brought to the new world, leading to a new class of smaller, lighter, and maneuverable exploration-focused golems. Established right away. VT is trying to make money? Trying to make a game? VT? Oh, well, my god. Well, we gotta check that out immediately. Oh, VT, what you doing? I mean, what are they trying to make? What in God's name are they trying to make? That's my question. Let's see. Let's go to all of the things. Everyone's oh god, people aren't don't believe anything on TG. That's the first thing you should do. It's TG is a disastrous place. Let's do a little bit of digging. Link the thread if you can. I'll see about it. Let's see. So hiring the best. Here. So each captain is built. Each captain is assigned each captain is a unique and qualified individual. Only a few things. Qualified individual. They are also human. Very human. They're also human. Too human. And their golems. And the golems reflect them. Like them just as much as they reflect their golem. Each captain has let's see, it'd be 1, 2, 3, but he actually has 5 sets of attributes. 5 sets of attributes, each opposed to another one. Let's see, 5 sets of attributes. These attributes are opposed. Actually, actually have two sides opposed to one another to symbolize the balance that a captain has to strike to become symbolize balance opposed to one another to symbolize the extremes of his personality. So when a captain is first created, they will divide 7 points. So 7 points among each of the attribute pairs. Let's see the attribute. I'm gonna have to come up with a new name for the attributes. I don't think attributes is the correct word. Right? Attributes doesn't feel like the right word, but it's also the only word I can think of currently. What the hell? What in God's name is this? This is 6,000 by 3,000. Map and lore. Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay, so let's... Current green text in general lore BT. What is this? Like, again, I don't think people realize this is a fucking massive goddamn map. No, okay, we're being a little distracted here. I don't know what the hell this is. I just got relinked. Oh, it's one of these? We're turning VT in a world/setting. What do you think it should be if not VT? What is TG? That's all I'm gonna say. It isn't. You forgot the subject. You played some noted and ignored. Second infinity thread. What is this? What in God's green earth is this? I am horrified, but fascinated. So, like, climate posts. Nigga, what do you... What? God. I am actually fucking astounded by what's going on. OP template, like territory maps? What kind of autism is this? This is the kind of autism. What is this? Okay, so let's go in. Primordial. Oh, what? What the fuck is going on? Ironside, what in God's name? Like, I know exactly what this is. This is something that has been attempted a few times. Let me see if I can bring it up. Welcome 1D4chan, by the way. It's similar to the unified setting. This is the unified setting. Way back in the day, TG decided to make the setting, otherwise known as the thing that we can use forever. It was taken over by furries, obviously. Like, it usually is taken over by furries. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, it was all the things that was just like, TG things are cool. Hence why you got things like circles in here. Don't talk about circles. Circles are... Yeah. Yeah, no, this is... I believe, like, what this quite literally is, it's a world building general. It's world building. But you're using it to do it, like... Yeah, everyone's like this, except it's like, it's a setting that isn't really a setting. It's literally just like, let's make it, like, this. Like, I'm horrified, but, like... Oh god, this... Oh, no. Oh, Jesus. Oh, sweet baby Jesus Christ almighty. Yeah, no, this is some chief VT autism. And 10 out of 10 would gonna gonna follow that thread into the goddamn... Gonna follow that into the goddamn ground. So, where was I? Okay, so this first grade is like 7. I'm going to do 7 points among each of the attribute pairs. In about never exceeding. Let's see, never exceeding 6 in any one. Never exceeding 6 in any. So, aggressive versus defense. Aggressive versus defensive. So, the captain's philosophy. Philosophy in love and war. Whether to dive head first into danger, or take their time, from a distance, protecting themselves and others. Aggressive captains throw themselves into harm's way for glory, while a defensive captain will patiently wait, strike at the right time. Instinct versus sensation. Instinctual danger sense is actually acting in the moment, planning ahead are rarely mutually exclusive. Exclusive qualities for leadership. However, the divide comes from a sense of focus. Instinctual captains go by their gut, trusting their own sense of self, and choices, while a sensational captain, that's a bad word of wording it, but a sensational captain focuses on the plan and the decision-making and focus on the plan and tradition, tested methods. The idea behind instinct and sensation is instinct is the kind of person who will leap to do something that they feel is right, being like, we don't need a plan where we're going. They're the ones being able to make these snap decisions at the drop of a hat. They're like, it's time to go. We're doing this. Or we're doing this. The problem is with someone with pure instinct is sometimes they trust their gut more than they trust anyone else. It's a very personal thing for them. And sometimes they are rewarded for it, other times they get punished pretty hard. You can get thwacked pretty damn easy if you just trust your gut, especially if you make bad calls. Sensation, on the other hand, are very meticulous. They want to feel everything out and then make their choice. They're the ones who are making those very slow, very laborious decisions, and they'll follow it to the end. These are the guys that are going to go 110% on exactly what they want to do and not compromise. Problem is, they kind of lack that flexibility that a lot of people you sometimes need in the field. Freedom versus stability. Having both boots on the ground. Let's see, boots on the ground and hair in the wind, and boots on the ground and hair in the wind. Nothing is more liberating than being on the move. Whether it's decision making, whether it's decision making or knee deep in the muck. Errant captains are flighty and prone to extremes, while a steadfast captain is stubborn to some, but consistent to others. Pretty much, if you're an errant captain, you're the kind of person who's going to be a lot more aggressive in your decision-making process. You're also going to be an extreme person. You're not a subdued person. Because the entire idea behind these attributes is that they can be a lot of different things. You can say, if you want to be, so for example, let's say we're talking to, a local magistrate, and we need support. We need more guns, we need more soldiers, we need everything. And we need to convince this guy. On one hand, we can be aggressive. We can slam our fist into the ground and being like, you son of a bitch. We need these materials or we're gonna die out there. And if you roll high, it'll be like, damn straight, let's do it. But someone who's a little bit more steadfast can make that kind of argument, being like, he knows me. He knows I don't make these requests unless it's something very important. And the fact that I'm even here is kind of one of those like, oh, okay. So if you were asking for troops, it must be real bad. It must be really, something must be going wrong. But if you're making kind of more of like a snap decision real fast, if you're like, give me the troops right now, being like, why? It looks like, because I need them. Versus like, well, here's like this plan. Like, so a steadfast captain is going to be able to like hand them a note. Like, here's this written notes that I came up with. Like, here's a very detailed way. And sometimes you're going to have these, back and forth with these, where it's like, it might be very easy to convince him if you're being aggressive, but if you want to try to make that instinct check, But if you're making a steadfast check, it's going to be a lot harder, but he's also going to be able to do it. So let's see, faith and fortune. Faith and fortune, I'm actually going to keep that there now. So there come Barcengozan. Barcengozan is a land of faith and doctrine. Holy wars have been fought over the years, and many of the older captains probably have a few scars from them. Do you trust faith? Do you trust a higher power? Higher power? It's yourself. Faithful captains have thrown their lot in with God. While they may not have believing in a higher destiny for themselves and their mission. Fortunate captains, on the other hand, build their own luck. Even if it's seed. Build their own luck. Let's see. Okay, fortunate captains, on the other hand, build their own luck, often through hard work, a lot of dedication. So kind of the split between these two is actually fairly simple. Faith is more complete random fucking chance. If you're saying I'm leaving it up to faith, if you want to make a faith check, it's like, you know, you're leaving it up to faith, cool. Make that roll, and you're like, I rolled shit. I rolled like 4 successes. I rolled 3 successes. But if you're rolling fortune is more like you're actively going out of your way to do something. You don't really know what you're planning on doing. You just know you have to do it. It's kind of letting something happen to you versus you kind of putting it in your own hands. A little bit different. I have a feeling players are most likely going to be more inclined to do fortunate rather than faith, but there's some fairly interesting dynamic there. And finally, many enter the new world with promises, wealth, glory, wealth, titles, and most importantly, glory. However, no story is written by a single man. No story is written by a single man. It's the bonds of others and those around us that tell our tale. That will tell our tales. Glorious captains are full of themselves and egotistical. But that glory hound determination can win the hearts of many people. Unity. Unitologists. Unity captains. What would be a person focused on unity adjective. Unitary. Yo. So unitary, that sounds so weird to me. Unitary captains. Captains are unitary captains. Unitary captains are men of the people. Or populist. Focusing on cultivating a personal image of themselves, which is reflection of others. So it's kind of being like, Glory, being someone who has really high glory means it's all about me. Someone who with, oh god, I've been, put that right here. While being someone with really high unity is more about being a kind of a people person. You're the kind of guy that everybody is like, yes, we will get behind this person simply because he's the man with the plan. Let's do decision, assistant, decisions. Care about you? Do you care about friendship or do you care about your own glories? In gameplay terms, glory versus unity is kind of like you can use it kind of as a conversation stat between others and your own. People like it when you're a Unitarian. Others, people outside of the initial group, like it if you're a glorious. So it's kind of that back and forth. I am going to make a side note here. So we want to do an example. An example. What was Hernan? What was Hernandez's? What was his official title? Marquis. Let's see. Hmm. So technically, we'll do Captain Spanish. Let's get a good old Spanish name. Geronimo Kenzidas. Justin Estrada. Tristan Estrada. Captain Tristan Estrada. So we to take all attributes here. Tristan Estrada is a young captain, hungry for glory and coin in the new world, eager to prove himself. Father, he's brash and foolish, but brave in the face of danger. So, aggressive versus defensive. Aggressive versus defensive. He's going to be 5'2". Instinct versus sensation. Actually going to be 3 here. Going to be a little bit more focused on instinct, but not too much. Errant steadfast. He's a little bit more steadfast than you think. He likes to stick by his own guns. Faith versus fortune. He's almost entirely believes in his own power. And finally, glory versus unity. Glory versus unity. He is incredibly glorious. He wants to be the guy, the man with the plan. So there we go. That's how we make our initial captain. We've done it, everybody. We've made a captain. He's brash and foolish. We'll do insert table 1. At an example, Strada. Eager to prove himself, and that's why he is the way that he is. You don't get that many options for like your initial character, like attribute wise, but that's all right. So let's see, we have our example. We'll slap an image right there. Slap an image right here. Got what the captains are about, and attributes. Can I move down one? This. Yeah, okay, we'll see. We still have enough. It's perfect. Perfectos. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, so do we want to add a skill system? Add a skill system. Another question entirely. Half of me wants to add a skill system because you need to differentiate the characters enough to make them feel unique, but we also have the golems to make themselves feel unique. However, you know what we can add? We'll add those quirks. What we'll do is quirks and demons. Actually, quirks and demons. A captain is a unique individual. Unfortunately, everyone involved, captains are notoriously unique. When a captain begins play, they will start with a quirk representing a unique facet of the captain's life and abilities. A quirk can be just about anything. Actually, let's see. A quirk can be just about anything. From prior jobs, personal experience, or simply a background about them, or simply a physical feature about them that would make them easier. When a quirk appears in play, the captain will add an extra d6 to their roll, reflecting their quirk, coming to assist them. Quirks can also be negative. Can also negatively impact the captain, which would remove a die. Hello, phone. What would you like to say? Yeah. Which would remove a die. Let's see. Okay, a captain can adopt additional. A captain can adopt additional quirks if they choose to take a demon. A demon is simply a nasty part of the captain that they don't, that they actually had a demon is simply a nasty part of the captain that they would rather not deal with, or worse, are unable to deal with. Demons comes in many shapes and forms, but almost all of them are negative. When a demon comes up, the captain will be forced to remove a die from. Let's see, captain will be forced to remove a die from their roll. Demons rarely may be used to add a die to a roll. If the captain is able to accurately portray it, assisting them. Rarely do a demon's help last long, however. So this is going to be our inadvertent way of giving some characters a little bit more depth individually. So we want example Sinistrata, but instead of having that, he's going to have so a captain may actually captains may have up to three quirks, and in turn two demons. Alternatively, they can turn to demons. All captains will always have at least one. Oh, yeah, there we go. Want to give characters a little bit more opportunity to feel unique, because that's always important. So we need to do Shift 8. His quirk is going to be a war hero father, pretty much, which we're going to actually do as Emilio Estrada. Is a famous warrior back in Barcengozan, and has received many accolades and important land. His son, however, is less than impressive. So we do work father. So kind of like that's it. The idea is that he's kind of leveraging the fact that his dad is who he is, even if he doesn't want to leverage it. It's kind of that inadvertent, like, oh, it's you. Let's do second quirk is going to be young handsome lad. Piston. Tristan, maybe only in mid 20s, but he has received many fans. From noble nobles daughters, daughters and beyond. No, actually, from nobles' daughters. Actually, daughters and occasionally wives. However, he's got his one demon. God damn it! Got his one demon. It's going to be sins of the father. Sins of the father. Emilo's fame comes at a cost. He is incredibly unpopular. Popular of the nobility. Many of the nobility due to his staunch beliefs. Reflecting poorly on his second son. So there we go. Pretty much, we already kind of got an idea of who this kid is. Who is Tristan? Strada, and the answer is like, hey, he's kind of this kid who's been he's a little bit caught up with the fact that who his dad is. People underestimate him because he's this, pretty boy, and people always think like, oh, you're just your dad's kid, and I fucking hate your dad because your dad is an asshole. But he's like, I'm just like this, I wanna be respected. I want that, and he pilots his golem in a very aggressive manner, and hopefully this kind of gives characters a little bit of nuance to hear. So it's kind of like, this is like your main, this is kind of like the core, and this is your kind of how do you explain your character a bit more. So we got quirks and demons, got that. So here, so we get captain creations. Good captains. That does remind me. Actually, we'll do captain. So what we should do is Saga of King Arthur and the Men of Metal. Good water bada, the voodoo. So we have to do all this after we golem, don't we? Yeah, we have to explain what golem is. Luckily, golems aren't too like. These golems are mostly just going to be whatever your chassis is going. Chassis isn't going to be that exciting. That's the lucky bit. It's not going to be super duper exciting because you're going to be like very limited what you actually start with. So, okay. Actually, so we have our basic captains here. Oh, we want to. I've been streaming for a little over an hour. However, what we're going to do is we're going to set things up for the future right now. I need to check a few things. So I'm going to do that tonight so I don't forget it, and I still need to record things for tomorrow. So, what do we need to do? Like, just being honest, what do we need to do? So, captain creation. Probably going to need to do lifeblood. I'm actually going to do that right now. So, select this, and we need to do lifeblood. Lifeblood and death. So let's see. A captain is far from immortal. Should they sustain major damage? Actually sustain major injuries. They will capitulate. Their life force will leave their body. Will leave their body and their soul to join the Heavenly Father. A captain's lifeblood is equal to combined. Yeah, let's see. Actually, a captain's lifeblood is equal to 10 plus is 10. Yeah. Captain's lifeblood is equal to 10. Captain's lifeblood is 10, representing a fairly standard human being's ability to withstand damage and make sure they don't die. If a captain reaches 0 lifeblood, they are not dead, but on the ground dying of their injuries. If not treated quickly or evacuated by their men, the captain will pass on. After 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Actually, it would be pass on after the 3 rounds of combat, or about 30 seconds. And being evacuated by your men, that's literally your men kind of picking you up and dragging you away while treating you. It's like, we're gonna try to save you, sir, please. Actually, if not treated quickly or evacuated by their men, the captain will pass on. The captain will pass on to his life. So, too much there. Again, we need to explain the captains first. Once we explain the captains, we don't really need to explain too much else. Should they sustain major injuries that are life force body cap? So, what do we need? Let's just think about this right now. We're going to organize everything we can. We want to get this into a good place for Friday. Because Friday is when we're going to get a lot of shit done. So, first things first. I think let's go here. And we're going to need to do. I think we're going to need to do the makeshift golems. Yeah, we wanted people to just kind of build their own golems, kind of like what that system is like. We've established what building our own golems or look like, but we're going to restrict a lot of the options initially. Should be, what we need to do is the initial golem creation. You have landed, you have explained what's going on. These are the golems that you've kind of, made initially. Initial golem creation. Then we're going to need to do Then we're going to need to do what we'll call it the expedition system. The expedition is going to be breaking down into the new world. Kind of understand that. The camp system. So the new world, we're also going to do random territory. Probably maybe like random cultures, which I'll probably be like roll like 4 cultures of this list of 20 or something. Those are the cultures that are presently. So we're going to need to do the camp system. Resupply. Actually, we'll do the camp systems because that's kind of more personal, and then we'll do the expedition system. The expedition system being like you're traveling around, you're interacting with people. That's kind of also where the travel rules are going to be. Travel rules. And then we'll probably put in like the mass combat system. I'm literally gonna put this in big ass quotation marks. The mass combat system is gonna be the expedition is gonna be like a pretty big chunk of it. Actually, we don't need to put that there. But like this is gonna be a pretty big chunk of the entire system right here. And then we're gonna go on to the combat system, which is going to be, golem versus golem, which is going to be, we'll do man versus man, golem versus golem, golem versus man, and then we'll do mass combat. Let's see the main. Right. Random cultures, and then I'll literally put in the capital the main threat, which I could probably add in like 6 major threats, being like this is a completely randomized one. You do not know what you're going to be getting. The main threat could be one of 3 different things, and they're all going to be very different. It's like, yes, here are the Aztecs who are using like blood golems to kill you all. Hey, here's the Inca but they're using, crazy bullshit. Pretty much the entire idea is it's a native culture, except they're using crazy bullshit to try to kill you. The camp system, the expedition system, which is going to be travel rules, and it's going to call it band management. Actually, no, we'll call it company management. Well, from there we can call it spoils and glory. Golem, mass combat, and from there we'll do. I want to call it advancement, but advancement's going to be a little bit. Which is going to be captain development, and it's going to golem development. Because you're not going to be advancing in a traditional way. Simply due to how the systems are already in place, you're not going to be like leveling up being like you get a +1 dice or something. That's not really the point. I don't want it to be that way. Leveling up as a captain, it means you can shift around your attributes, yes, but one of the bigger things that you're going to be able to do is simply gain more quirks, you're going to gain more abilities, you're going to gain more knowledge. You're going to gradually learn more about this place. You're going to be able to pick up things. You're going to be able to learn the language. My goal is I want to learn the language. You learn the language, therefore you're able to kind of internalize that a little. You're like, yeah, I'm going out of my way to learn this thing. Or, hey, I want to become stronger. I want to become a stronger person just physically. Cool. We're going to work toward that. And once you work toward that, you're going to be able to, like, yeah, okay, you've done better. And then actually I'll put company advancement. Then I'm probably going to put in like an enemy section, which is just going to be a couple example enemies. And then finally like a GM section. This is going to be one of the few games I'm going to put like a dedicated GM section in, which is like how this works, how to do it, how to do it well. And then let's do colonialism is bad. Is bad but fun. There we go. Yeah, colonialism is bad, everybody. It's bad, however, it's fun. Like, you can have fun with it. I think people get worried about it, being like, I can't enjoy something. Like, you can enjoy it. Like, that's fine. We've been doing it for years. It's okay. So, still not 100% sure on the action, whether or not I want to use the action map or not. It's kind of a back and forth thing for me. But yes, here's the current list of stuff we need to do. It looks like a lot. It really isn't. I'm just gonna add in some like side notes of like, how do you help with people in groups? How do you do this? I realize I don't do that sometimes, and I should do that. So, I'm gonna call it there for today. I will come back on Friday, which Friday is going to be, I hate to break it to you all, Friday is going to be Expedition Day. My goal is to get to about here on Friday. This is kind of my Friday goal. And then by next Monday, we do shit like this. And then next Wednesday, we kind of wrap things up. Like, my goal is to get this done by next Friday. That is kind of the goal. I want to do about 4 or 5 episodes. Kind of depends on how things go. I have a good feeling, however, good feelings sometimes bite you in the ass. So, thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon. Godspeed, good luck. Catch you all on the side. Goodbye.